invented the skank.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
Very interesting turn of events. And let me just tell you, I'm going to start by going back to 2016 and telling you about Sophia Urista, who was a contestant on The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take this story all the way up until today, because there's something going on with her today. But we have talked about her in the past. So let me first reintroduce you to her from The Voice, and then I will remind you of when she came into our consciousness, which was probably about a year or so ago. So this was her audition for The Voice. It was Miley Cyrus, Alicia Keys, Adam Levine, and
The country dude.
And the country dude, yeah, Blake Shelton. She's really good.
You know, she's voice good. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this earlier today. Having the voice stank on you, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, in the past, it's been a really bad thing, because name one person who came from The Voice that is the same level as like Kelly Clarkson.
When we had Mariah on from the band Plush, she started out on The Voice, which I guess gave her a little bit of stank. But I don't know if it was good for her or not.
You know, if you start out on The Voice and everybody forgets you were on The Voice like we did, we totally... you just said that, and we've had her on the show. I completely forgot she was ever on The Voice.
Right.
Because she's made her own way. She's made her own career. Plush is on tour with like everybody right now. They're huge.
Yeah, Evanescence, and they have a big tour, right? They're on the road with Mammoth Van Halen right now. So their album is like in the top 5 right now. But she started out on The Voice, and I really think Facebook and YouTube blew her up more than The Voice did.
Yeah, that's probably true. And this woman that we're playing for you now, Sophia Urista, so she ended up on Team Miley. Miley loved her. Miley turned around for her, and so did Alicia Keys. She ended up on Miley's team, but she didn't win. She was eliminated at some point. Okay, so cut to 2017, 2018. This band is formed called Brass Against. And it's like this. Do you know Brass Against by any chance? Do you know who they are?
They do cover versions of rock bands. So they will do a cover version of Rage Against the Machine.
Right. They're
But
the
with
Pentatonics. Yeah, like the Pentatonics, except they're more like they're harder. And they all wear these white jumpsuits, and then there's one lead singer. And they have lots of vocalists. So it really is like one of those bands where there's so many people in the band. Like if you go to Brass Against on their website and it says vocals, there's like 40 people on there. But
it's one of those bands.
It's one of those bands. And they take turns, and they do whatever. Like I can go on tour for this amount of time. Okay, then you come in for this amount of time. And the reason it's called Brass Against is because aside from drums and guitar, it's full brass. I mean, there's trumpets and, stuff like that.
So here's them doing Killing in the Name of.
Okay, so that's what I was going to tell you. I played this for you last year. We discussed this because this woman and this video, this started going viral because people thought this was awesome. As you can hear, it's mostly brass. It's got drums and all that stuff because it is rock. But, all these people that, learned trumpet when they were in 4th grade.
This is the kids I beat up in elementary school.
Yes.
You play horns, I have to beat you up. You're one of those kids.
So if you remember, if you listen to this show and if you've been listening for a long time, I played this for you last year because this video went viral, and this singer, really cool looking chick, and she's singing this Rage Against the Machine song, and this song was huge. It went crazy. This is Sophia Urista from The Voice.
I can imagine splitting the gig money against 25 people in a band.
Yeah. So, cut to today. Brass Against is on tour because that's what they do. They tour. They have a huge tour schedule. They're all over the place. And they're making news today because of something that happened with Sophia Urista. And I am not going to watch the video myself, but I'm going to play it for Anthony, and we will get his natural reaction to the video of Brass Against and Sophia Urista on stage in Daytona.
Okay, so there's a guy laying on the stage.
Right. He's laying on the floor of the stage. Mm-hmm.
Like a bald dude, and she's taking
a fan.
A fan, okay. So she's taking her pants off.
Yep.
And she's singing.
Right? It's her job.
And now it looks like she's squatting.
Yeah.
She's peeing. She's peeing on the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's happening.
And it's like a racehorse.
Yeah. So she's still singing. NASCAR has sponsored this event. It's in Daytona. This is one of their big events. It's the Welcome to Rockville or Rockland or Rock something or other tour.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, so that's the girl from The Voice that we played for you last year in the video that went viral. She's on stage. She said, I really have to pee, but I can't leave the stage. And an audience member said, pee on me. And she said, okay. So he came up on the stage. He laid underneath her. She pulled her pants down and she urinated on him.
No, she didn't urinate on him. She pissed on him. I mean, this is...
Can you believe this? That's crazy.
This is...
Okay, so this is the Welcome to Rockville Festival. NASCAR, who owns the Daytona International Speedway where the incident took place, okay, said, no shock, Brass Against, banned.
Oh, no.
Banned. They could never, ever, ever come back. They are done. Yeah. Yeah, Daytona is just like, and of course Daytona is like, wait, what? And here's the weird thing. It's not like they're super punk and they were trying to be edgy and emo and, in some kind of like edgy. They're just there's a bunch of brass nerds behind her with tubas and trumpets. And she's what they're saying now. The band is like, sorry, they've apologized. They've tweeted about it. And there's implication that she might be mentally ill.
So
you're speechless.
I can't even talk.
You don't even know what to say. What do you say? You who've been in the rock music business for such a long time, like you've seen the most punk things go down. You have never seen anything like this before. I know you haven't. Certainly not a woman doing it.
And not in person. I mean, I don't think anybody. There was one guy a long time ago that was like a punk guy, and he would take a poo on stage and throw it at the crowd. I mean, there was bands like that were insane. But what does the band say about this? So
Brass Against issued, well, not really a statement, a tweet, which, in our parlance is a statement.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we had a great time last night at Welcome to Rockville. Sophia got carried away. That's not something the rest of us expected. It's not something you'll see again at our shows. Thanks for bringing it last night, Daytona.
So they're not going to do it anymore? Why would they not do that every show? Now they got to one-up it.
Well, here's the thing. So when the news broke and the video got out, first they wrote, well, how's your day going? that's how it started. And then people were like, "Now you got to say more than that." But it's interesting because some people were like, "Oh, that was metal as hell!" Like some people loved it, and other people were like, "Who cleaned that up?" And then people were like, "Hang on a minute. So cancel culture didn't come for this? Like you guys just went, sorry, our bad," and everyone's like, "Okay, no problem."
If this was a guy that did this,
yeah, to a woman.
There was a guy back in the late 80s, early 90s, Gigi Allen.
Sure, famous.
So Gigi Allen was this crazy dude that would poo on stage and throw it at the crowd, and he would do the most outrageous things. So what she's doing is just a Gigi Allen thing,
which would make sense if this was a Gigi Allen type of band. But this is like edgy pentatonics. This is not a band that's supposed to be. They're not really metal. They're not like one of these like, whoa. I mean, just because they sing Rage Against the Machine, they're not actually raging against any particular machine. But I did make a bad joke, and my boyfriend made fun of me all day long for it. I said, well, talk about streaming your music.
Wow. So, no, they should thank her for doing that, because now we've actually said the name Brass Against, and people know who they are. And I guarantee their next show is going to be sold out.
Oh, more than that. Literally everybody listening to us right now, Googling Brass Against video.
Yeah, no. If you're listening to us, do not Google that video. Do not watch that video. You'll never get that out of your head. There's a couple of things you should never watch. That is one of them.
That's one of them.
The glass bridge on Squid Game, you don't watch that, because you'll never get that out of your head. I'm saving you from things. I'm saving you from yourself. Don't watch these things. At least she brought somebody out of the crowd and brought them on the stage instead of doing it off the stage into the crowd. So I don't know if she can be arrested for that, because he said, go ahead.
Public urination. No, it has so many problems with it. I think there was a police report filed, but then it ended up being dropped because the guy, was like, I needed a shower. Like, hadn't showered all day. Just needed a shower. We're good. I'm not mad. No one's mad at her right now.
But trust me, there's a lot of guys right now booking a ticket to their next show.
Right.
No, I want front row. Do not give me anything but they're going to be the highest paid touring band of 2022.
Sponsored by Depends.
And water. I mean, she really had to pee.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, don't watch this. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to see this.
But think about all the sponsorships, pregnancy tests, perfect.
Oh, he could have held one of those up at that time.
I know. That's what I'm saying. A pregnancy test would have been good. Clear Blue, one of those, or maybe Monistat. Maybe if you UTI or something. It's
in the age of COVID. If he was wearing a mask, I wouldn't be as upset.
I love that that's your problem. The guy wasn't wearing a mask. That was your issue.
If he was, because he might get COVID now.
I doubt he's going to get COVID.
Swear,
I'm sure. No.
That's how you get pink eye. Right there. If you want to know how to get pink eye, watch that video. But I'm telling you, don't watch it. You don't want to see it.
Maybe he was bitten by a jellyfish.
Maybe
a jellyfish on the face.
What else you got? It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
Did you watch the whole Taylor Swift thing on Saturday Night Live?
Of course. Please, who do you think you're talking to? I'm a Swiftie from way back. I was on the whole Taylor Swift train a long time ago. And if you go to my Instagram page, you will see lots of pictures of me and Tay-Tay, me and my buddy T Swift.
Yeah, I understand that. But did you watch the Saturday Night Live, her on Saturday Night Live?
Of course I watched it because Taylor was on. I loved the video when they made fun of the 3 virgin guys.
That was funny, and they brought
great.
her out.
Yep.
But, I watch, it doesn't matter who is the musical guest. I will watch the first 30 seconds and make up my mind if I like him or not, and then fast forward. Ed Sheeran, I didn't even watch the whole Ed Sheeran. I watched 30 seconds of it when he's done a good job. Fast forward.
Right.
So I saw a couple of minutes. I probably lasted 45 minutes into Taylor Swift and said, well, she looks great. She's doing a great job. Good for her. So then I fast forwarded it and I kept going because when you hit fast forward, it goes 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's like fast forward. How long is this song?
Right.
Holy cow. And then to hear it was 10 minutes. That's a Meatloaf song.
Right. Well, I think that she made history. I think it was like 11 minutes, and no one's ever done one song on SNL for that long. Usually they do a song and then the show happens and they come back for a second song. She didn't do any of that. She did one song and she had her video going at the same time. But I went back and I watched the video. It's not really a video. It's a movie. It's like a short film.
It's longer than most movies.
But it was really good. I don't know if you know, but Billie Eilish directs all of her own videos. She makes and directs all of her own videos. And that seems to be a thing now that a lot of, especially women, female pop artists, female artists are now starting to produce and write and direct their own videos that they also do the song for, which is so cool. So Taylor wrote and directed this video. But all right, so just rewind for one quick second in case you don't know. Taylor Swift made lots of fantastic music for a very long time. And then she had a whole falling out with her manager, Scooter Braun. And the problem was that Scooter Braun owned her music and would not let her have it. Mm-hmm. So she sued him. She lost. So what she did instead is she re-released all of her music and added verses and added whole sections of the song so that she can call it Taylor's version. Mm-hmm. And that became like a big meme over the weekend. Everybody was posting everything that they were doing and just putting Taylor's version in parentheses. Like I was out with some friends, I took a selfie and I wrote selfie, Taylor's version. People were like, hey, we're eating pizza, Taylor's version. So that was the whole thing all weekend. That was the big joke all weekend long. So, but her fans are really up in arms about this stuff because the video that she released is obviously a video about her relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's what the song was about to begin with. And now she added a lot of verses that made people go, huh. Yeah, so it's a great song. We all know the song, but she added some verses to it, and she has this one verse in particular. This is all new. Now listen to this next verse carefully. Okay, so that's one of the new verses, is that after she and Jake Gyllenhaal broke up, she tells the story that she was at a party and she was in the bathroom crying and some actress asked her, what happened? Mm-hmm. And everybody was just like, for some reason, they blamed Jennifer Aniston. They're like, oh, it was Jennifer Aniston was at that party. So it must have been Jennifer Aniston. She's so nosy and she was all up in Taylor's business. And remember, Taylor at the time was like 19, 20. She was really young. When she dated Jake Gyllenhaal, they started dating when he was 28 and she was 19. So they broke up right before she turned 21. And one of the reasons why he said that she was too young for him. And that's what broke her heart. Mm-hmm. So she went to a party to try to have her life back. And what's so weird is everybody starts blaming Jennifer Aniston for being the actress in the bathroom who insensitively was like, hey, what are you crying about? Hey, what happened to you,
And we don't
bitch?
even know.
We do know.
Oh, we do know.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not a Swiftie by accident. I am well aware of all my Taylor Swift history stuff. Okay, when people started blaming Jennifer Aniston, I'd raise my hand. I was like, no, everybody, hello. It was Anne Hathaway, because Anne Hathaway talked about it in a Glamour magazine article years ago. Yes, after it happened, she talked about that Taylor Swift and Jake Gyllenhaal had broken up. She saw her at a party and they were in the bathroom chatting each other up. And she was trying to make it seem like she was Taylor Swift adjacent, because that was Anne Hathaway getting tons of hate at the time. So she was like, wait, hang on. You need to love me. I was there to comfort Taylor Swift. So it was Anne Hathaway. And I will go to my grave with that.
This video was released 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 35 million views in 4 days.
Yeah, of course. It'll hit 1 billion, no problem.
4 days, 35. That's crazy.
Well, it's a short film and it tells a story about not just a breakup, but this really famous breakup. And she adds a lot of detail that we did not know at the time, that we supposed what happened. But she really goes back. She's 31 now. So she goes back to when she was 21. So she goes back 10 years to when she was just turning 21, talking about what really happened in that relationship. So, she's re-releasing the Red album. And of course, she's re-released Dear John, which is a song about John Mayer. Okay. Nobody's safe. Jennifer Aniston was not safe, and people thought she was the actress in the bathroom. Jake Gyllenhaal is not safe. He actually had to come out today and say that he's been in hiding because this song came out and everyone's coming after him and he can't handle it. Well, they really are going after John Mayer because, as you know, Taylor Swift dated John Mayer, and that did not end well. And that's what the song Dear John is allegedly about. So Taylor Swift fans are 12 and they're 42. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody loves Taylor Swift. No, nobody gets away with not loving Taylor Swift and not being a Swiftie. This is so great. This girl, Alondra, slides into John Mayer's DMs and writes, "Kill yourself, you ugly F. I hope you choke on something." Okay. And then he doesn't respond. So she writes back, "Answer me, you dick," or whatever she says, "Answer me, you asshole," whatever. He decides that he's going to answer her. Now, he's been getting these sorts of messages all week long. Since she re-released Red, Taylor's version, this has all come back to the surface. So, I mean, he's getting a lot of hate. So he decides, you know what? I'm just going to pick somebody and I'm going to respond. So he responds and says, "Hi, Alondra, it's John. I've been getting so many messages like these the past couple of days. I decided to choose your message at random to reply to. You can feel free to screenshot, share in any way you'd like if you want. I'm not upset. I just tend to have a little curious mind and feel compelled to ask, do you really hope that I die?" So, of course, she immediately starts freaking out. Where's her response? So she starts freaking out and she writes back, "Oh my God, what? I don't want you to die. I'm sorry." And then she starts apologizing. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my God." And he's like, "Look, it's okay. I just want to understand." So it's a fun thing people are doing without taking into account I might see it and be affected by it. She's like, "Yeah, I guess nobody really thought you would see it or answer because you're famous. So sorry, so sorry." And whatever. She's
bullying.
Apologizing. Huh?
That's bullying.
Yeah. So she's apologizing like crazy. Well, he released her name and she then reposted it on TikToks and everybody knows who she is. So now she's getting death threats.
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me.
She's the target now. John Mayer fan. Remember, John Mayer is on stage pretty much every night. He's on tour with the Grateful Dead. He basically replaced Jerry Garcia. So he's on tour with the Grateful Dead. So now the young Deadheads are all and the John Mayer fans. They don't have
computers, though.
I don't understand why they hate John Mayer after all this time. I mean, he dated a woman. It wasn't right between them. They broke up. She got her heart broken. We think maybe she broke his heart. But he didn't write about it as obviously. Maybe the next 6 ballads he wrote were all about his heartbreak over Taylor Swift. Why do we assume
maybe
that
her body was a wonderland?
Right.
We don't know. And hey, look, it was a failed relationship, but you got a great song out of it.
Right.
So leave it at that and leave poor John Mayer alone. I guarantee she doesn't want anybody going after John Mayer.
Well, yeah. And the thing is, so it was around the same time. It was a little bit before, I think. So he was 32 and she was 19. So she dated John Mayer first and then Jake Gyllenhaal afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I mean, when you're 19, I would say to the Taylor fans, if it wasn't for those experiences that she had at 19, you wouldn't get Red, 1989, Reputation, Lover. Like those albums would not exist if it wasn't for all that. So you should be like, thank you, John Mayer. Thank you for inspiring our Taylor to come up with the amazing music. And by the way, she's making more money than you, so fuck off.
But he didn't do anything. He's sitting there by his phone. It's like ding, ding, ding. What I do? I haven't done anything. I'm on the road with the Grateful Dead. They ain't got phones. They're not dinging me.
Right. Everyone's high. Then they don't even know they have a phone. They don't even know they have pockets.
Yeah, what I do now? And then he probably gets stuff from Jessica Simpson fans. He's like, come on. He gets it from all angles. He's like, I'm not dating anymore. It's just done.
I would say he gets it from Katy Perry fans, but does she have any anymore?
Yeah.
What happened to those people?
Because Katy Perry fans are happy she's happy now.
Right.
She's married and she's got a kid and she probably doesn't even think about him anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
These people are obviously total lunatics. Muy comico!
Non-rich people are sharing little signs of wealth. So if you have these things, some people say you got a lot of money, and it's pretty eye-opening.
Okay.
To what people say, oh, you have that? You're rich. So number 1 on the list, the fridges, the refrigerators with water in the door. If you have that, you're rich.
Person? Okay, I don't have that.
You don't have that?
No, I'm not rich.
You don't have ice on the door?
No.
How do you get your ice?
I buy it at the 7-Eleven if I need ice.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You can't get it
I have
out of
an
your
ice
door?
tray. No, I have like an old school ice tray I fill with water and I stick it in my freezer if I need ice.
But do you drink water out of the faucet?
Yeah, where else am I going to get water from?
Out of the fridge when it has the
No.
Because it has a filter in it and it filters when it comes out?
No, running faucet. Thank God I have running water. I put the faucet on, I put my glass under, water, instant water.
Wow. Okay, I'm looking at you different now. Number 2, being able to buy something you need without having to ask yourself how badly do you need it?
Well, I mean, there's need and then there's need. You know what I mean? Like I need, what do I need? What was I just saying?
You need coffee. You don't need boots.
Right. Well, I definitely need coffee. You know, my boyfriend needs me to have coffee. He needs me to not be uncaffeinated in the morning. So to keep my relationship sane, I need coffee in the morning. But you're right. I don't need boots, but I do because I saw these cute boots and they look so warm and my feet have gotten a little bigger.
So you need all new boots because you gained weight.
Well, I didn't gain weight in my feet. I'm just saying, like, you know,
well, your feet got bigger because they're holding up more weight. They got flatter and wider. Kind of like a duck. Get wider. You look like a duck now with the flat feet and they're wide just to hold it up.
Duck boots, yeah.
Knowing what a duvet cover is and owning one.
That's nothing to do with being wealthy.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, so that must mean I'm poor.
No, you know what a duvet cover is.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so your blanket goes into another blanket, basically. Your blanket has a blanket. Your blanket has clothes. Does your blanket have clothes?
No, it doesn't.
I think probably your blanket has clothes, but you don't realize. If your wife was here, I would say, do you have a duvet? And she'd say, of course we do. Everybody has a duvet.
So okay, I don't know what it is, so I guess I don't have one.
No, but that's stupid because duvets are not expensive.
But when you don't have any money, you don't buy a duvet. You buy food.
Oh, I see. You don't buy your blanket clothes. You just have a blanket.
No, your blanket doesn't need clothes. You need clothes, not your blanket. Right. So the baby needs clothes, not your towels.
Got it.
Number 4, going to a store to pick out furniture, like actually buying new stuff, not taking whatever you find on the street or garage sales.
I do not have one piece of new furniture in my apartment. It's kind of nice. It's like every piece of furniture in my apartment is either from my parents' basement, friends of mine that were throwing stuff out. We have a lot of stuff that we found on the street that we've kind of refurbished. And then we moved into the apartment. The people before us just left stuff that we just kept all these years. They left it thinking we'd throw it away, but we actually keep it and use it.
I've actually bought new furniture because I didn't want to move the old furniture. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get all new furniture, so they have to deliver the furniture to the house because I don't want to move it. Number 5, signs that you have money. This is what people without money say. Scheduling a doctor's office visit or seeing a dentist for anything other than an emergency.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's also a sign you're a hypochondriac.
Number 6, hiring movers, especially the ones to pack all your shit too.
Yes. Oh my God.
I've had that.
You remember when we left Long Island, what did I do? I got a friend that had a truck, and then I begged another friend of mine, and they came out with my boyfriend, and they put my stuff in my friend's truck, and that's how I moved. Yeah, I've never hired a mover in my life.
I've actually had a mover to where I just take my keys and leave. I don't pack a thing.
Wow. Really?
I've done that a couple of times. Yeah, done that a couple of times. Because when I get a job at a radio station, I say, if you want me to move there, you're going to have to move me.
Oh, they pay for it. Okay.
And they pay for it. Number 7, not knowing exactly how much money you have at any given time.
Oh, well, I mean, I know how much I have in the bank, but I never know how much I have in my wallet because who pays with cash anymore?
Yeah, I have no idea. I pay
with Apple Pay or a debit card or whatever. So I never know how much cash I have. I actually went to lunch with a couple of friends of mine, and they were like, let's split the check. How about put in my credit card and you guys can Venmo me or give me cash? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to have to Venmo you because I opened my wallet. I had $1 in there. And I was like, oh, I even have $1. I can't believe I have $1.
Yeah, I have no idea how much money I have. I have no clue.
How nice for you.
It could be a lot. It could be none. I don't know. Number 8, eating pizza because you want to, not because it's $2.
Oh, well, yeah, I do that. Like if I'm in the mood for pizza, I just order a pizza. Yeah.
Ordering an appetizer or dessert at a restaurant in addition to an entree.
Is somebody else paying or am I paying?
You're paying. People who have a marble counter island in the kitchen.
I'm only laughing because my kitchen is the size of an island. If I put an island in my kitchen, I'd have to stand on top of the island to get to the refrigerator.
Having teeth that don't have constant pain.
Oh, yeah. I guess I'm rich because I'm always at the dentist. But see my previous answer about always being at the doctor all the time.
Having a basketball hoop in the driveway. People see that as somebody who has money.
Yeah, I don't have a driveway.
Not only do you not have the basketball hoop, you don't have the driveway or the basketball.
Nope, got none of
that. Showing my age here, somebody says having a shower in your house. Back in the day, only people with money had showers. We only had bathtubs.
Oh, that's what somebody wrote in there? But everyone has a shower now, so that's stupid.
No, my grandparents, up until a couple of years ago, they didn't have a shower.
I've never heard of that in my life.
No, they didn't. It was just that claw tub, and that was it.
What?
They didn't even have a faucet with cold and hot. They had a cold and a hot. So if you wanted to
Separate.
if you wanted to wash your hands, you had to put cold and then hot in your hand at the same time. You had to mix in your hand.
That I've only seen in like movies and in like kind of kitschy restaurants or whatever, bathrooms and like kitschy restaurant bathrooms. But I never knew anybody ever, I've never seen anybody ever that did not have a shower. I feel like a shower is the minimum, and the wealthy people also have a tub.
Oh, so the tub now is the wealthy.
If you live in New York City and you have a tub, oh my God. Like if you have a bathroom that also has a tub, whoa. You got money, honey.
Signs that people say you might have money. Being able to get a new mattress.
Oh, it's funny because we were just talking about how we've had this mattress since we moved into this apartment 9 years ago, and we're like, should we turn the mattress like every couple of weeks? And we're like, one day we'll buy a new one. We just keep flipping it.
Having snacks in the house a week after grocery day. That's a sign that you have money.
Well, that's not about money. That's about self-control.
Then people say if you go on vacation and you're not visiting family. So if you actually go to the beach, but vacations mean you have to go visit your grandparents. So that's the only vacation that you have.
In 10 years, I took 2 vacations. One was to visit my boyfriend's parents. The other was to visit my parents.
See? You didn't have a vacation. You had to visit relatives.
Who paid for our flights, by the way.
Okay, speaking of relatives, I want to get your side on this. So, it's already begun. We're not going to do Thanksgiving at the parents. The issue is I have a brother, I have a sister. The brother's family is vaccinated. Sister's family is not vaccinated. Mm-hmm, so the parents don't want to do Thanksgiving at the house.
Okay.
So, but now they're talking about Christmas. So a list was sent out. All right. The sister's family has to bring this stuff. My family has to bring this stuff. My brother's family has to bring this stuff. So they're planning on Christmas. Is it wrong for me to send a text to everybody and say, I want to see who's been vaccinated or who's not been vaccinated?
No, it's not wrong at all. But you don't need to do that. You know the answer. Your sister and her family are not getting vaccinated. So you can be sure that they're not going to be vaccinated come Christmas either. Okay.
So if they're not vaccinated at Christmas, is it wrong for me to walk into the house Christmas morning with a mask on?
What do you mean is it wrong? You absolutely have to go in with a mask on. But the truth is, she's more at risk than you are.
I understand.
But you definitely, definitely have to. Yeah. I'm
going to start something the minute I walk. My whole family is going to walk into that room, all with masks on. We're going to start something. You know, it's not going to be very Christmassy.
See, that's fucked up. Like if your family is not okay, so you have to be okay that they're not vaccinated, but they can't be okay that you guys want to wear masks. Does that sound fair to you? Does that sound right?
That's a good way to look at it. So we should walk in with masks on.
You know, a friend of mine came in from LA this week and I haven't seen him in a long time. And his wife is worse than I am with stuff. Like I'm a little like, you know me, I'm a hypochondriac anyway to begin with. So the minute COVID hit, I was like, that's it. I'm never leaving the house. And I've been hiding under my bed for a year. But I go out, I do stuff, I go out for dinner. She still hasn't even done that. And he said, we're at a place right now where whatever anyone's comfort level is, you just have to be okay with it. You can't pretend that this is all brand new, that you've never heard of any of this. Some people want to walk around with no mask. Some people don't want to get vaccinated. Some people don't care if they get COVID or not, you know, and I guess that's their right to, if they want to get COVID, they can get COVID. You can't tell people not to get sick if they don't care.
Right.
But in the same way, then other people who want to wear 2 masks when they're indoors, or a mask when they're outside, or, whatever. I mean, everybody I know is getting boosters this week because now it's 12 plus here in New York. So everyone's made appointments for boosters. Yeah, ours are next week. We can't wait. So, but you have to be okay with everyone's comfort level. If somebody wants to wear a mask, not wear a mask, clean their groceries, not clean their groceries. I mean, there's still old people walking around the city wearing gloves, like the rubber ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
should we walk in with that? With the gloves
That would be
and the
hilarious.
mask?
That'd be pretty funny.
I love that.
Well, you could ask your sister's family to get tested.
No, that's not going to happen.
They're not going to get tested?
That's not going to happen. No, I mean, I just think walking in, it's going to be just a shit show when we all have masks on.
No, you have to say, I'm going to be okay with the fact that you're not vaccinated. You have to be okay with the fact that I'm wearing a mask. You do what you want. I'm going to do what I want for my family.
There's a new video in Australia now about anti-vaxxers. Shit that anti-vaxxers say.
Okay.
Hey, Lachlan, are you ready for a trip to New Zealand?
Yep.
Got your bags?
Yep.
Got your passport?
Yep.
Double vaxxed up?
Nah.
What?
That shit gives you ringworm.
Where did you hear that?
It's gone round in the circles.
What circles?
The forums.
You need to be fully vaccinated to travel internationally.
Yeah, well, I'm worried it's going to give me ringworm. That's valid.
No one has gotten ringworm from the vaccine.
The vaccine was just created. We don't know the long-term
Right.
ringworm-related side effects yet.
Do you realise how fucking stupid you sound right now?
Just because you're willing to risk ringworm doesn't mean you can force it onto me. We don't all want ringworm, mate.
It's a safety precaution that's been proven safe and also extremely effective at saving lives.
That's bullshit.
Says who?
The forums.
What forums?
The
blogs.
forums.
The blogs.
Right.
The blogosphere.
The fuck is the blogosphere?
Look, mate, I just don't trust it.
Do you trust the brake pads in your car?
I know where this is going.
Do you know how brake pads work?
Do you trust the brake pads in your car?
Vaguely.
Do you understand that there are a series of safety checks a brake pad design has to pass before it goes into production? And if that
Right.
makes it into a car, it has been professionally certified as a safe brake pad to use.
It's not the same thing.
Tell me how the fuck that's not the same thing.
The whole vaccine thing is suspicious. It happened too fast.
Right.
Past safety regulation, just like Panadol, you melon.
Well, I just don't trust it.
So you're scared.
I'm not scared.
Well, what is it then?
All right, I'm a little scared.
Yeah, if you get the vaccine, you inherit a small risk. But if you don't, you pass a risk 1,000 times bigger onto the people of the
Right.
community. So stop thinking of yourself, grow a pair of nuts, and take the risk.
I don't know. So if you wear a mask at Thanksgiving, what could they say to you? That you couldn't turn around and say right back to them and be like, okay, anti-vaxxer. Like you can be worse to her. The problem is you're too nice and you don't like conflict. You got to bring me with you.
Oh,
I
no,
have to
that
go with
would
you
not,
to-
no, because we would be gone in 10 minutes. It's just, here's presents, and have a nice day. We would leave.
No, I need to go with you. And I need to be the person that gets in her face and tells her what I think. Because that way I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, but,
And then you could just be like, doo-doo-doo, Merry Christmas, everybody.
but then she'll come back and say,
But I don't want to get ringworm.
A journey back in time.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
That takes me back.
Okay, strangest thing you've ever woken up to, or strangest person, I guess. If you were like me back in the day, waking up going, who are you? Did we? We didn't, did we? Okay, good. Just making sure. Don't even know your name.
I can't believe your husband, Sean Lee, hasn't called in on this topic.
I'm surprised
He wakes
too.
up to something strange every single day.
I know.
Me.
With a whiteboard around your neck.
Exactly. Saying, make me coffee in the good mug.
Don't use the guest mugs, use the good mugs.
Don't use the egg mugs.
Yeah, or the egg mugs.
Or
yes,
the
that's
guest
right.
mugs. Yes, I need the coffee mug, my coffee
That's
mug.
right.
Now, Ken, what's the wackiest thing you've woken up to?
Now, you said no alcohol, right?
Well, you're not feeling well this week. I don't want to picture you drunk. Just shooting
Nobody
stuff.
wants to picture me drunk. I'm a happy drunk.
Okay,
I'm
so
a happy
not drunk, but not drunk Ken. What's the wackiest thing you've woken up to?
Okay, well, I had to go back till I was about 11, 12 years old for this one.
Oh, good.
It took a lot to think on this one. I had a little old dachshund. I'd had her for years. And she always slept with me for some reason. And one morning, Mama hollered to get me up. Well, dog's pouncing on the side of the bed, and when Mama hollered, she never done that before. I figured what's going on with the dog,
Yeah, why is the wiener dog jumping?
Well, she was going crazy for no reason. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. And where she got this, I still have no idea because we didn't have this problem. But I raised up, and there was this great old big rat laying in the bed beside me.
You're kidding!
I looked up and I looked at it, and the dog just happy as she could be, So I laid right back down.
Look, I brought you a rat.
Breakfast.
That's what I'm saying. I can't figure out where she got it from. Because we didn't have them in the house. There wasn't any in the house at all.
She went down to the rat store.
I don't know where she got it. She must have opened the window and let one in or something.
Well, aren't they ratters? The dachshunds, aren't they ratters?
Well,
that's their job, right?
They're designed to bring badgers out of their hole.
Oh, badgers.
Well, she made a mistake.
Yeah,
well,
she
badger
out
a
of
rat.
practice.
A rat would not stand a chance with them, trust me.
Well, you had the dog as a pet, and the pet wanted a pet.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
The dog is showing love, by the way, because this happened to me with my cat, which who knew that my cat found a mouse? I never had mice in the house. Yeah, my little guy woke up in the morning and he had found a mouse and spit him out at the side of the bed as a
gift to you.
As a gift to me. Like, here you are, Mommy. You take such good care of me.
That's when you have to move.
Right. Dead mouse for you because I love you.
Oh, thank
See the blood and guts? That's real love.
Yeah,
you can even see the love.
It's a beautiful thing.
Now, Jack, what's the wackiest thing you've woken up to? Strangest thing?
A pine tree.
It grew overnight.
No, it fell through my window.
Oh no!
You're kidding. So wait a second. So you're asleep. You good night's sleep. You get into your covers. You got your blankie. You got your willows. You're all happy.
I'm under my blanket, sound asleep, and it came crashing through the window. I didn't realize it. I woke up saying, "Who's been drinking gin in my room?" That's what woke me up, the smell of gin. And I realized there's a pine tree at the foot of my bed.
Oh my gosh!
Were you a kid or were you older?
No, I was older.
Oh, okay.
I was probably 21.
Wow,
that's freaky.
I've never heard of a pine tree attacking a human before.
Well, it was
You say something to make it mad?
Must have been really ticked off.
Hurricane Hugo came through and knocked the pine tree through my
Hugo was
window.
mad.
Hugo was mad. That's what it was. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Jack, that's wacky.
Yeah, the tree was just an innocent bystander.
It's true, right?
A mere pawn.
Exactly.
Now, if a pine tree falls on Jack and no one's there to hear it,
does it smell like gin?
Does it smell like gin?
I've never noticed that before.
Pine trees smell like gin. That's the lesson we learn here.
Wow,
I learn something new every day
right.
on the Cooper Lawrence Show.
It's a good thing.
Now, Michelle, what's the strangest thing you've woken up to?
Oh, God. Well, it was back a long, long time ago, and my friend lived out in the country, middle of nowhere. Her mother's out of town, so we have a party.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come over. Everybody's, drinking, whatever. Everybody goes to sleep. I wake up. My friend comes into the bedroom where I'm sleeping, in her nightgown with a fly swatter going, the flies. And
was she hallucinating?
Yeah, she was like going, there's flies everywhere. There's flies. And so what happens is we get up, we go into the sunroom, and somebody had passed out in the sunroom, and I guess they got sick, and then the window was open, so all these flies came in the house.
Oh my God!
Here we are going, trying to get all the flies, trying to figure out every way we could get rid of them. So we get it all out of there. Her mother comes home, and it's like the Risky Business movie when they're like everything's cleaned up. And
right.
And
the egg just makes it back in the nick of time.
Yeah, and everything looks great. And then she's like, well, there's a couple of flies in here. And we're thinking, you don't have any idea. There were 1,000 like a few hours ago.
Really, there's just a couple of hundred, and she's complaining about the one or two, and you're just like, oh, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know where they came from. Yeah, and we're thinking, oh, you would not believe, all day trying to get flies. But I woke up to my friend holding fly swatter going, the flies. And I was thinking, what?
What? She's crazy. She's hallucinating. And sure enough, Michelle, that's wacky. That's a good one. That's a good story. I like that one. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Now, what's the strangest thing you've woken up to?
All right. Now, I admit, there was a little bit of drinking involved.
Has to be. Got to start with that.
I was 19. I was at a little house party. Me and a couple of roommates. And went to sleep with my now wife, who was my girlfriend then.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody else in the room. Granted, we had a little fun before we went to bed. I woke up, and next to me is my wife's best friend, naked. my wife's asleep on the other side. I'm in the middle, and her best friend is on the other side of me now, asleep and also naked.
Really? Okay, slow down. Slow down.
Yes, keep the story. Retell it just a little slower.
Keep going, Mike.
All right. So I'm freaking out, thinking that I did something. Well, a little bit of drunk. I mean, I find out later that her best friend is, had fun with someone else, and then came in to the bedroom for some reason, thinking it was her room, and thought she was sleeping next to her someone else. So, but
that's the story they told you.
Wow.
I know. If I had a threesome, I wish I was awake.
Wow. That's wacky. And that must have freaked you out. When you first wake up and see your wife and your to-be wife and her best friend naked, you're like, score!
Exactly.
And then they're like, no, nothing happened. You were a big loser, fell asleep, yeah.
Or the second thing that enters your mind as a guy is, I'm going to get yelled at about this.
Right,
yeah.
of course.
And I didn't do anything.
You're in a lot of trouble. Explain that one.
How you do it? I just woke up.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Now, Lori, what's the wackiest thing you've woken up to? The strangest thing?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, I thought we said no alcohol because I woke up one morning sleeping on a strange person's couch with three guys sleeping on the floor.
Lori and I grew up together. Lori and I had the same exact. We had parallel lives.
I didn't know these guys though. And so I didn't know
again, parallel lives.
The wackiest non-alcohol event was just this past fall. I woke up. My cat. I have two cats. One of them was just going nuts in the bedroom, and I turned on the light, and there was a bat. Now, you got to understand, I am the absolute girly girl about that kind of stuff.
Oh, me too. I would have moved.
Yeah, it's freaky.
I would have moved. I would have packed up my stuff, called a mover, and been like, I have to leave. There's a bat in the house.
And the cat's trying to get it, and I don't want the cat to get it. So I'm like, how do I get out of bed? Because it's between me and the door.
Oh, no.
It was, I scrubbed that bedroom.
Wait, how'd you get out? How'd you get rid of the bat? What'd you do?
I got out of the house, grabbed my cell phone, got out of the house, and in my nightshirt and bare feet, got outside, locked myself in my car, like somehow I had to lock the door.
I'm safe here.
And called the police. That had broken into my house.
I'm pressing charges.
Pressing
It was assault with a bat.
That's right.
That's right.
And that bat saw me naked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he saw you naked, too, Lori.
Who would you call at 4:30 in the morning when there's a bat in your house?
Yeah, I'd call the police also.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bat busters to call.
That's right. Oh, my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, you left the yellow pages inside the house. You're in the car, you didn't have a yellow page.
You got to call the police. It's assault with a bat, saw you naked. There's all kinds of issues there. I love
Peeping Tom.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's great. Thank you, Lori. Now, Todd, you know what we're talking about here, right? You've woken up to wacky things before.
Yes, ma'am. A little more wacky. Ken's story reminded me of one I had when I was young. I think me and Ken have a lot in common. But anyways, my parents were divorced, and my dad was bad about not paying bills. We lived in a mobile home, and the way you heat it is with an oil drum, and he was bad about never buying none.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd get on, I had my mattress on the floor when I was sleeping. I'd get the hairdryer and plug it in and stick it under the covers to warm myself up.
Oh.
And some of those trailers, the
nothing could go wrong here.
the vents were not in them. And I remember one night I was kind of laying there asleep, and I kind of woke up, and I had a cat named Mr. Fatty, and he was under the covers with me. And I said, and I felt something. I thought, oh, that's Mr. Fatty under the covers.
Right, of course.
That's the best name I've ever heard for a cat.
Inside out, because he was fat, and I didn't feel like coming up with a name. And so I thought to myself, no, Mr. Fatty is outside. He was the inside outside cat, and so I kind of. I crawled out from under the covers, got out, turned the light on, seen that lump under the covers. I threw the covers back in. It was a possum.
Oh, God.
Through that vent and crawled under the covers. That possum opened his mouth and just started hissing.
Wow.
Where was Mr. Fatty?
He was offended
Mr. Fatty was outside, Anthony. He was outside. That was a bad neighborhood. I remember it was a mobile home park, and one Christmas I bought Mr. Fatty a sweater. I let him out. Somebody stole the sweater off my cat.
That is low. That is too low.
But anyways, I kind of heard the little possum back down in the vent hole, and you could hear them every now and then under there fighting. They would be fighting with wild cats under there, and they'd sound like they was going to come up through the floor in the trailer.
This is so funny.
Cooper, when we go on vacation,
yes,
can it be the Todd and Ken show?
It has to be. Todd has got to fill in for you when we go on vacation.
Can I still screen calls? Because that's going to be great.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
Best radio show ever.
Todd wakes up. You're not Mr. Fatty. You're a possum.
And then Ken's over there going, I dated a girl. I called her Mr. Fatty.
I love that Mr. Fatty's outside getting mugged. Getting his sweater stolen.
My sweater. All I got was a sweater.
Thank you, Todd. I can't do it anymore. I can't take it anymore.
I'm going to start snorting again.
Can you imagine a show with Todd and Ken? That would be great.
Yeah, but
And the mascot, Mr. Fatty.
we would need an interpreter, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I'll be the interpreter.
We need closed caption.
Closed
Be a
captioning.
closed caption right in the
great.
For the Southern impaired.
It's like when I used to watch Deadwood, I used to put caption on so I could understand it. You'd have to do it.
Oh man, I'm crying over here.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
The fact is the cat even had a sweater.
Cats need sweaters
Why does
too.
a cat need a sweater?
Because he's Mr. Fatty. He doesn't exercise much. He's cold. Somebody replace Mr. Fatty with this possum.
Okay, David.
David, help us. Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. How y'all doing?
Now, what kind of wacky thing did you wake up to? Where were you, first of all?
Oh, this was on the coast of North Carolina back in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Free love.
Senior weekend. You know, too much PJ
Uh-huh.
and going on. And needless to say, everybody was partied up.
Mm-hmm.
And going back and forth to rooms and everything and checking out the girls and stuff. And I got up with this one girl and thought I knew her a little bit and went back to the room and next thing you know, pass out. And next morning, get up and my friend's shaking my leg and everything. He said, "Come on, Dave, get up." And he says, "Well, you got someone in there with you?" And I said, I thought someone came back with me. And needless to say, he pulled the sheet off, and it turned out to be a sister.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, and that's bad. Bad.
Oh. There's so
Was he
much
mad?
He's like, well, he's still pretty well hung over.
Probably a good
And
thing.
needless to say, everything looked pretty decent.
Oh no!
Oh.
But at least it looked decent, and I don't remember a thing.
And you thought it was Mr. Fatty the whole time. Wow.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Okay, Sean. Sean, you've been through this, right? You've been through something where you woke up and something wacky was going on.
Yeah, very weird.
What happened?
I was actually where I was at Pearl Harbor, and I was standing duty at the dispensary at Fort Island in the middle of Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
All by myself, locked in this building. Of course, it's on a military installation.
Mm-hmm.
Alarms on every door, so no one could walk in or out without me knowing it.
Right.
Alarms are really loud.
Right.
Well, I wake up the next morning after sleeping there one night out of the 2 that I had to spend there.
Mm-hmm.
And my shoes and socks that were under my bed that I did every night the same way are at the other end of the building.
Oh my gosh, that must have freaked you out.
That was free, and there's no one that can come in and out of there. You have to take a boat from Pearl Harbor to this island.
Whoa!
Wow.
Well, now, was somebody screwing with you? Did you find out later, or to this day, it's just some wacky like ghost thing?
Well, lots of people died there. That was the dispensary right next to where the Arizona blew up.
Oh.
And all the battleships were moored around that island.
Of all things
Yeah.
to take, I wonder why your shoes.
I have.
That would be the worst ghost ever that steals shoes.
Are you kidding? That's what I think too. I don't know what I would do if I had a ghost that stole my shoes.
That might be Cooper someday. She might be the
ghost who
shoe
steals
ghost.
shoes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me. When I die, I'm coming after your shoes.